Bitcoin continues to inch towards that breakout. You already know that we've been expecting that bullish breakout to the upside for quite some time. And, one of the patterns that I wanted to draw to your attention here is actually the kind of symmetrical triangle that we've been forming here. It's not perfect. We've had some deviations and stuff like that, which is completely okay by me. But we are still overall consolidating here. And I'm really liking the look of this because, again, it's just the standard. We've moved up very, very nicely. We're now consolidating. And what's really important to keep in mind about stuff like this, those of you who are subscribed are going to be very well aware of this by now, is that, the market loves to have longer term corrections. This was obviously, as we know very well by now, a 60-day correction that also dropped down by 20%. But also, when we, and that's what I would call an area of low volatility, right? We're not moving, we're not really doing anything for a very long period of time. And then bam, high volatility here. I mean, within 7-8 days, we're up by 27%. It just completely eclipses the previous move, and we do it all within, just a fraction of the time that we were dropping down for. And, for me, what that represents is a move from low volatility to high volatility. And that's a really important difference because when you move into areas of high volatility, you can tend to expect shorter periods of consolidation. See, previously, this correction here lasted 60 days, but this correction right now, I'm not going to expect this to last 60 days, right? I mean, we've already paid with time, with a lot of, we've already had a lot of pain in this market. So when you enter these high volatility ranges, typically the moves actually happen really quickly. And, this is on all sorts of time frames. I can, show you very, very clearly. We're moving up right here. We consolidate right here, right? This is a really nice kind of range of consolidation. And just look at how long it lasts for. This is a 3-day period of consolidation right here. This is a 12-hour period of consolidation. We're moving up. We're pausing a little bit, continuing. Over here, again, a short period of consolidation. This one only lasts 1 day and 16 hours. So we're just continuing to see this trend here where, we're continuing up, and on these short time frames, we're very clearly having, pretty quick corrections. And now, obviously, yeah, it makes sense. This is the strongest area of resistance. I keep stressing this because, it really is, very, very true. This is an extremely important critical area of resistance on the chart. So, of course, we're going to be expecting a consolidation, a correction that lasts a little bit longer. But, I feel like we are coming towards the tail end of that now. And, one of the reasons I'm saying that is if you actually just kind of really understand what the market is trying to do, where market makers, where big players are trying to take the market, one of the best things that can happen is that we set a low and then sweep it, right? And what that does is anyone that, was kind of entering this market with late longs, the guys that entered longs up here, up here on any of these wicks, right? These people, are gonna, be suffering, right? I mean, imagine, let's just say from this high, if you entered right at the top because you're just that guy, then, down to this low, the price is already down by 6%. And, imagine you entered a 10x long up here, you're 60% underwater. Eventually your stop loss is going to trigger, and that's, a beautiful sign of the market just doing what it needs to do before moving up. Now, I want to stress that this is actually one of the most annoying things about the market, but it doesn't have to be annoying. This kind of thing can actually be how you position yourself for massive, massive profits. It was just the fact that I was very well aware of the market operating in this way that I was able to be so bullish at the bottom right here and then enter the long that you guys are very well aware of me trading as well. You're already quite familiar with this position, and I'm still sitting very happy, very high up here. And of course, this position was traded on Bybit, which is linked in the description down below. When you sign up and make your first deposit using Bybit, start trading, you're going to get up to $30,000 of free money just added into your account when you use my link in the description. And the reason that's such a big deal is this is free capital that you can just deploy right back into the market. Any trades, any whatever you want to do, you've got free money to throw into the market, up to $30,000 of free money. And again, yeah, any profits are yours to withdraw, which is absolutely crazy. BingX also doing something similar here, but what's amazing about BingX is that there's no KYC required, so very privacy focused exchange, and you're getting all of these stocks, you're getting Forex, indices, and so on available to trade right here as well. So, to be able to trade all of these stocks and so on, again, just with Bitcoin, without even KYC, extremely flexible, lots of features here. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on as well. But if we do move back to the market here and just kind of take a closer look at where we are, again, for me, this is just everything I wanted to see. I mean, I was telling you guys about, we're going to take a little bit more time, but look at where the support is going to be, right? So, we've already kind of nearly bounced off the 4-hour Ichimoku Ichimoku cloud right here. And if we just kind of trade sideways for a little bit now, literally just for like the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to start finding some really nice support from the Ichimoku cloud right here on the 4-hour time frame. And the reason that this is significant to me is that if the market moves up very aggressively the way we did right here, and then, you know, we're just kind of consolidating, that gives the market a chance for our support areas to catch up, you know. So one of the best examples of that is the EMA ribbon. It's a very easy to visualize example where, you know, at first, look how far away we are from the ribbon, look how far away we are, look how far, and then bam, you know, we're falling into it. And every time we're falling into it, it's doing exactly what we're predicting. We're getting these beautiful bounces off the EMA ribbon. So that's looking stunning to me. I'm loving that. You know, there is a bit of a problem now. I mean, you know, we're losing the spread. We're not really finding support as well as we were at first. So, you know, there are some signs of weakness here. Some, you know, some of this momentum tapering off a little bit, but you know, that's the limitation of looking at this on a short-term time frame. If we zoom out onto the daily time frame, it's still, you know, I mean, we haven't even consolidated enough, you know, according to this time frame, and that's because this move up is just so quick. So, you know, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing. You know, if Bitcoin can just hold its ground right here, then it should be able to do something pretty fantastic in terms of kind of moving up and capturing the support available over these next few days here, you know, and then actually rallying a fair bit higher. So to me, that is certainly looking quite exciting and just kind of showing me that we are still poised, you know, to have that move to the upside. Now, again, you know, I could be wrong and so on, and that's completely fine by me. You know, one of the things that I'd like to look at is actually just where we're seeing. I've actually just simplified my Fibonacci, by the way. I've just got the 382 line and the 618 line now. These are the only levels that are important in my opinion. So, you know, and I've always been saying that, but I've just ignored the other lines. So now I just figured, okay, let me just simplify it for you guys. So, you know, we've got phenomenal support right here at, you know, kind of 28.7, and this is exactly where we would expect Bitcoin to bounce if we do start falling down, which I just wouldn't be worried about. You know, if we did end up doing that, it would kind of look like one of these BART patterns some of you guys mentioned very rightly so in the comment section, but it's just not something I'd be worried about because, you know, if you look at how long we've stayed up here at resistance, you know, you've also got to kind of read between the lines, right? Like if we've got formidable resistance, incredibly strong resistance in the market, and the market just kind of, you know, shrugs it off and just stays there, you know, just consolidates basically right at a high, then that tells you a little bit about the underlying strength in the market. So yeah, it would be a little bit disappointing if we don't use that strength and drop down, but, you know, you've also got to bear in mind that, you know, I mean, if put it this way, like we really have to understand it from the psychology of the market, right? Like if we're up here and the bears can't drive the price lower and the bulls just keep buying it up, right? And this is a really important point. If the bulls just keep on buying up Bitcoin at these lows, you know, which quite frankly are not very low, these are quite high levels to be buying Bitcoin, at least relative to where we were, you know, over these last few months. You know, when that's happening, that does tell us that there is, you know, this underlying kind of bullish bias in the market, even though we can't quite break the ceiling yet. You know, and what's really, really important is that when these ceilings do start breaking, of course, if they do, because nothing is guaranteed, you know, you've now had a lot of people that have basically had their chance to sell their Bitcoins, right? Like when we get up to like 31K, you just imagine there's a lot of people that have kind of set their orders to sell Bitcoin up here. Eventually, if you keep on tapping that ceiling, these orders are going to get eaten up and the market's just going to start bursting through, and then the only thing left in the market, because all the supply is gone, the only thing left in the market is going to be demand, and you just see these really big spikes up. And that's exactly what happened with, you know, like we were looking at this pattern, for example, you know, quite closely on this YouTube channel. Again, those of you that were subscribed would be very well aware of that. You know, this was another perfect example of the very same thing happening, where, you know, just along this line, all of these sell orders are being eaten up, and then eventually there's just nothing left, so you just absolutely blow up and just do something spectacular. So, you know, to me, that's still what we're looking at. I'm really liking the body language of this trend so far. We have tested the highs as well, you know, and obviously that didn't work out particularly well, but to me, you know, anything which is neutral in a bullish market, you know, is going to be more bullish to me, and this is really, really important. I'm going to type this out just to make this extra clear for you guys. Anything that's neutral is bullish for me in an uptrend. You know, if we're in an uptrend, neutrality defaults back to being bullish, and of course it would be the opposite. If we're in a bearish trend, then being neutral would be, to me, considered a bearish thing, right? And anything we do bullish, you know, and I've covered this quite a lot with you guys here on this YouTube channel. Anything we do which is bullish to me is going to be very, very bullish in an uptrend. You know, and the reason I'm typing this out is I really want to make this point super clear with you guys, is that this is, you know, to me, a critical critical thing to be keeping in mind in the markets, and especially if we're right kind of below, and also we look at things like the Forflies dashboard, which I've been sharing with you guys quite a bit on this YouTube channel lately. Yeah, fear and greed index is quite bullish here, but I mean, long and short ratio has been, bearish for quite some time, indicating that there was just more, kind of shorts in the market. Now, today is the first day that we're really seeing that flip a little bit, but, it's not something that, I mean, we're not, it's still very, very neutral. Top traders have been majority bullish for a very long time, so you really got to keep an eye on this. Top traders are obviously pushing way more volume, right? Like, you imagine, like, the top 5% of traders are going to be pushing more volume than the bottom 80% probably. So, when these guys start closing up their their long positions, that's when I think the market could be in some trouble. I know that some of you guys are going to be interested in my thoughts on that, and I've purposefully kind of steered away from the topic of saying what might happen to Bitcoin if we do go above 30k. To be honest, I've still covered it quite a bit, but the bottom line is I don't know. I think that there's a good amount of resistance to expect. Let's just see if this is the right chart where I've drawn my lines. I don't know if my lines aren't loading, or yeah, here it is. These yellow lines, 34.5, 36.3, 41. 41 is kind of my max level. Eventually these kind of top trader positions are going to flip into being shorts, because I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that we're in a bull market yet. I mean, we're just in a bear market rally, and this is a really important point that I'm not sure if people are actually appreciating, is that within these bear markets where we're just trending down for an incredibly long period of time, they can actually stretch out to, this was 800 days. Fuck me, absolutely enormous, just ridiculous to be honest. 800 days, watch a child grow up in that time, and and at the same time we had this massive bear market rally where from the low we're up by 330%. So Bitcoin has shown us that within a bear market we can still rally up by over 4 times. We can still multiply the price by over 4 times and still be bearish. So this is nothing special. This is 100% rally so far. We can still pump this thing all the way up to 41k and we can still be bearish, and that would make a lot of sense to me. It would make a lot of sense. I think the markets are generally leaning quite bullish, and we can see why very, very well, between the dollar index just behaving beautifully. I mean, just absolutely stunning price action, exactly what we were expecting, to be quite honest with you guys. I mean, we bounced off the low here and then, moving up a little bit, but probably going to capture some resistance, I would say, and then, continue on downwards. We've had phenomenal price action here on the S&P 500, which again is tradable on BingX. You can actually trade the S&P 500 right here with leverage, just with a Bitcoin deposit. Absolutely, just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. To be able to trade these markets right here, and just continuing to set these highs. Nasdaq is even more impressive. Just getting really close. Doesn't really have anything standing between it and the all-time highs now. That kind of thing to me also indicates that this market is just generally leaning quite bullish in a quite spectacular way. So I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here, and I'm definitely seeing that we are still leaning quite bullish, kind of macro. But again, how long is that going to last? Like, I really don't know. I don't have any way of saying. But and this is important, right? Like, we don't have to. I think a lot of people, they fall into this trap of feeling like they have to answer every question. They have to know everything that's going to happen. Like, no, the fuck you don't, bro. Like, you just need to position yourself well in the path of money, and collect your fucking 300-400% and then fuck off. Like, make your money and fuck off back home, sit down quietly and collect your cash, count your cash, and then go buy yourself something nice. Like, you don't need to worry about how this is going to go, or like if it's going to reverse here or here or here. We don't need to answer those questions to make money, and this is where a lot of people slip up. They want to know everything. They want to have 100% of what's going to happen in the market. Like, bro, you probably didn't know we were going to bottom out over here, and you certainly didn't know that we were going to top out over here, but it doesn't matter, because the money is made in between. The money is made on these moves, not catching the bottoms. You're not. It's not a good business to engage in, catching the bottoms or tops, and that's why I don't really focus on questions like that. What I am focusing on is that I certainly think a next breakout can come, and I've covered with you guys extensively why I think that breakout could go up by 12%. And if something like that did happen, then it would that's just a perfect place to just continue being in my long trade, and trading other markets as well, which VIPs have been very well aware of in terms of how I'm interested in navigating those waters there. So I'm very, very excited for what's to come. Obviously, I am going to continue trading these markets with the exchanges linked down below, and only with the exchanges linked down below, primarily the top two. And so if you are interested in them, you can go ahead and check them out. If you do want to see how I'm trading, come on down here, and this is actually going to put you in a direct chat with me if you follow these steps on screen. Just click on, you know, the link in the description, click on my name, and then you can send me a message directly. Alternatively, literally just, what is it, this link right here will put you in direct contact with me. Guys, by the way, it's really important, only use the links in the description if you want to find anything from me or really from any other YouTuber. A lot of people make fake links and fake profiles with, you know, like for example, the Forflies, the I could be like an L or something, you know, like whatever. Like, it's too easy to get scammed. It's happened to, you know, too many people, to be honest, even on this YouTube channel. So just make sure you're staying super safe and you're only using the links in the description. You know, this is a verified YouTube channel. Any link, I guess verification doesn't really mean anything these days because everyone can get it. But you know, I mean, it's useful to know that you're getting your links from the official sources. But anyway, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this one. I need to run, but if you have appreciated it, you know exactly what to do. Smash up those likes for me. Double check that you're subscribed. You got a bell icon checked and all that beautiful stuff. And I will see you all in the very next one. Cheers.